Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo, and this is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and many online. And we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited to be here today with Nichole Rita Welch. Nichole, it's lovely to be with you.
Thank you. This is a wonderful experience. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. Well, tell us, what do you do? What do you offer at our events?
I'm a clear channel, and so I offer readings and activations. I tune people into their soul's voice and in essence reconnect them to their soul's truth so that it is an easier flow and there aren't as many blocks as what we can experience of ourselves in a day.
And is the activation that sort of awakening, or are there other things connected
Well,
to activation?
every reading and activation is different. When we step into a reading, we're unlaced from time, and then what usually occurs to commence the reading is my soul light shines up into the ethers to reference that I am the avenue and the channel that can be utilized for communication. And then the person that's in the reading with me, their soul light expands and gets brighter, and they attract what they're ready to comprehend on their journey in that moment. And we then travel into a landscape that is that person's journey, and we take the horse blinders off. And we are in that person's landscape that's about 360 degrees, and they're able to comprehend what's really going on and what's really important and authentic with where they currently are standing and how to approach the rest of their landscape. And so quite often in that experience, there is an activation or more that happens because we have actually journeyed to that place of authenticity with all of their assistance vibrations. And that can come in the form of guides, that can come in the form of it's energy, but it is in the language of the person that's receiving the reading. And so quite a few interesting experiences have occurred in readings where one's guides show themselves, or where angels have appeared, where people from their past have come in. It's all for the sake of that person, where they currently are, where they're currently at within themselves, and what's necessary, what's blocking their soul voice from being heard even by them and then honored in action. And so that's where an activation usually comes in. And always the person receiving the reading is then given tools, keys to unlock doors, tools to fashion out ways that then become practices to bring them into a more flowing, functional, multidimensional experience of their truth being found in their everyday actions.
Wow, I'm so glad I asked. This is great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm imagining that the way you've shared your work has evolved over time, and I'm wondering, like, how did you get started and what did this look like? And just, can you give us a little bit of your journey?
I sure can. I I was I alter vintage clothing. I have been since I was young. And my mom was a seamstress. She sewed my clothes, but I started getting hand-me-downs and altering what I wanted. And ever since then, I've been gathering vintage notions and vintage slips and dyeing them different colors and adding on to them. And they're all one of a kind works of art. And I would layer them, and then I was doing craft shows with these slip dresses that I would have to set up a dressing room in my booth because they're all one of a kind. They had to be tried on. And while I was in the dressing room with the woman trying on a dress, I was helping her fit it. And also I'd go through her wardrobe so that she could realize that it's all about accessorizing. But while we were in that dressing room, what inevitably would happen would be a reading. And I was not aware of it initially. Yet I was very present to that woman that would come in that was ready for the next step on her journey. It was clear. And these dresses ended up being a very unique tool for women to embrace their own sensuality, and not look for it in the eyes of others. And as that developed quite quickly, I had to become responsible for what was going on in those dressing rooms. And so the universe, I had energetics, in essence, pull me aside and really work with me, and explain what was happening so that I could honor it, because it started to come out everywhere. I was in grocery stores over the vegetables, in bars, and it was not needed. So
Yeah.
it was an interesting year. I remember that year quite well because I was also sleeping outside in my backyard the whole year.
Wow.
It really involved a lot of grounding, but also a lot of ethereal connecting. And I felt one with the universe. And from then on, it's been my purpose. And although I still alter vintage, these readings and activations, and passing out keys and tools and practices, have become my purpose. And now it's really connected to the astro events. It's really connected to the beautiful cycles that that the planets and astrological signs end up finding themselves in. We're all in cycles, and if we can start to comprehend that those cycles are in relationships with all of humanity and beyond, that we can then see sacred geometry. We can see the sacred spirals, the cycles, and the way that they come into communion, and where we are in a mutually beneficial energetic exchange, which is another thing that we're all being taught now. It can only be mutually beneficial energy exchange. So anyways,
No,
I
it's
don't know if
great.
I
It's great.
digress there, but
Yeah, no, that's great. I appreciate it. I just what you went through is what so many people go through when they open, of like it's coming in, and it just, yeah, it's
yeah,
great. It's beautiful to hear.
yeah.
Oh my. Do people come with specific questions, or do they primarily come for the general experience of being with you? Like, what are ways that people enter
It
to work with you?
it's been interesting. I used to preface how to prepare for a reading, would be to find yourself in a quiet space, with a journal and some tea or water, and then let yourself settle in and allow the specific questions to come up, because it's a fully interactive reading. And there's also questions that come in from their assistants for them, and so that prepared them. And yet what I've been finding lately is that they just know that they're ready for the next step on their journey. They know that they've been focused, but there's something that is stalling their process or holding them back, and they can feel it without judging it. And that's when we step into a reading. So when I place myself in clairvoyant shows and fairs, that has been just the best way to put myself into someone's path where they're already looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, so excited to have you be part of the community and sharing your work. I'm so excited to learn more about you and your work. And if people want to learn more about you or connect, where do they find you on the web?
I have a website, and it's www.thealtergirl.com. TheAltergirl.
Oh, the Altar Girl. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Nichole. It's been so fun chatting. I'm excited to have you, as I said, in the community
It
and part
has,
of our event.
yeah. I'm very excited for these shows. This is absolutely wonderful.
That's great. And so for all of you listening and watching, you can find out about all of our events at mewefairs.com. See you soon.
Beautiful.